G'day, my name is Pete. You're watching Ahead of the Curve. Welcome back to the channel. As I predicted in my last video titled Model 3 30% off, and I'll include a direct link to that video in the description section below so that you can find it nice and easy. I was talking about two opportunities as they relate to the price of the Tesla Model 3, the Standard Range Plus in particular. Unfortunately, one of those opportunities has now come and gone, and that's what was the imminent price hike as a result of the Australian dollar declines. We've seen the Australian dollar come down in pricing quite substantially, especially over the last few weeks. The Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus is the cheapest Model 3, is the cheapest car in the Tesla range, available in Australia or anywhere else around the world. Presumably that's why pricing there has gone up the most, because presumably Tesla has the tightest margins on that car, and they were probably forced to pass on most, if not all, of that price increase as it relates to them, because these cars are produced in Fremont, California. At the moment, that factory is producing ventilators for the COVID-19 victims at the moment, but ordinarily, and apparently there's just news that they may return back as early as May 4th to full production at the Fremont factory, as well as in Nevada and New York as well. Now, on Friday night, we saw a price increase. I was expecting the price increase to be on Thursday or Friday, and I was expecting anywhere between $6,000 and $8,000 for the Standard Range Plus, based on what I'd heard on the grapevine. As it turns out, the price increased between $6,000 and $6,390, depending on which state and territory you live in. And it must have occurred late Friday night, because I did check on Friday night, prices were still unchanged. Saturday morning, they had increased, as I said, between $6,000 and $6,390. Now, if you ended up putting down a $150 non-refundable deposit, which now, as you can see, was perhaps well worthwhile, especially if you're going to be taking delivery of the car, then fantastic. What I'll say is, if you forgot to use a link so that you can get the free 1,500 kilometers or 1,000 miles of free supercharging, then please send me an email. I'll include my email in the description section of this video below. So make sure you send me an email, because there may still be something that we can do retrospectively. If you're in the market and if you've missed this price rise, but you're still looking at buying a Tesla, because there is a bigger price opportunity here as well. That opportunity is worth about $17,000 roughly. So if you're still in the market for a Tesla Model 3, please do press on that link. It will take you to the website. It will give you a message confirming that you've received your free 1,500 kilometers. If you use my link, as I hope you will, I will also receive 1,500 kilometers of free supercharging as well, for which I'll be very grateful for, and I'll open myself up to help you in the delivery process, or if you have any other questions as in how I can. Now, this second opportunity that I'm speaking about, there is a catch to this one, in that you do need to have a business, and that business has to have some income to be able to offset the instant depreciation or the accelerated depreciation against, and you need to be able to take delivery of that car and be able to use it for business purposes prior to the 30th of June. There is a little bit of detail when it comes to this. In the previous video, in the description section of that video, I've included a lot of links to all the relevant government websites where you can find all the information that you need. And as I say in that video, and as I'll reiterate right now, make sure you receive some good professional accounting and or financial advice, or tax advice if you like, because this scheme is a little bit complicated. For instance, the way it applies to passenger vehicles is quite different. So there's a limit of $57,500 roughly. That's the cost limit for cars. For all other plant and equipment, from as far as I can tell, is about $150,000 now. That cuts out on the 30th of June, and that's when the instant asset write-off transitions to another scheme called backing business investment. The major difference between the two schemes is instant asset write-off, you can write off 100%, of the depreciation in the current financial year, whereas with back in business investment you can only do 50% there. But interestingly, whether you're buying a Tesla or looking to purchase a car, or you're in the market for what would be, if not the best, the second best second best bit of equipment to use this money on, and that's a solar system, generally speaking anyway. So that's what I do. I'm a commercial energy consultant. 99% of what I do is commercial, and we can still fit and install a commercial system prior to the 30th of June, so you can take advantage of that 100% instant tax write-off, instant asset write-off. If you're interested in a solar system, I'll argue that now is the absolutely perfect time. I've been in this industry for close to about 9 years, and in 9 years there has never been a better time to install and commit and invest in a solar PV system than right now. So if you're in the market for a commercial system, please send me an email. I'll be more than happy to run a feasibility study for you and show you how it relates to your site. If you're interested from a residential perspective, send me an email as well. I don't usually do residential, but times are all very different at the moment. We're not sure what our volumes will be like going forward. That said, March was actually our record month since we began operations about 10 or 11 years ago. So there has been there has been quite a lot of volume coming in over the last month, but not sure how they will continue in the next few months. So more than happy, if you're a subscriber to my channel, more than happy to help out residentially as well. Now, I've summarized pretty much all of the information and how the different prices relate to each state. I've got this all in a spreadsheet as well, so feel free to send me an email and I'll email it to you if you like. But I'll go through all that now, so stay tuned and we'll go through it together. As I said, my name's Pete. You're watching Ahead of the Curve. Alright, so here's the table behind us. Now, ACT coincidentally is right up the top, but they had the smallest price increase of only about $6,000. So Friday night the pricing was $71,128, and then it jumped to $77,128 on Saturday morning. As I said, difference of $6,000. Just so you know, the table's got 5 columns. As you can see, you've got the state here, Friday night pricing, Saturday morning pricing, the difference, and then I've included a 5th column, which is the current pricing as of yesterday morning. And it's got the pricing of, and all these prices, all these costs are based on a drive away, no more to pay, on-road cost basis. So what I've done here is I've compared all the final on-road prices for each state versus the ACT. And the reason why I've, the reason why I've compared it to the ACT is because their pricing is the lowest. Primarily, it's all to do with stamp duty. So Canberra doesn't have any stamp duty. So when you buy a car in Canberra, no stamp duty to pay, and that makes a big difference. There are little differences when it comes to delivery charges and plate fees and registration costs, etc. But stamp duty, as you can see, plays a very big difference. So let's now go through all the different states as to who had the biggest, who had the smallest, right up to who had the biggest price rise. So as I said, ACT had the smallest. The ACT was closely followed by, that's right, Queensland, $6,120 price increase there. So after Queensland, we then go to Northern Territory, NT, $6,180, followed by Tassie, $6,210 price increase, followed by South Australia, $6,240, followed by Vic at $6,252 for Victoria, followed by New South Wales at an increase of $6,300 overnight, and unlucky last, unfortunately, Perth, Western Australia, which is where I live, the price was $74,825 on Friday night, jumped to $81,215 yesterday morning, a difference of $6,390. Now, as I said, this is the last column and it compares the different prices of the final drive-away price of a Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus, which is Tesla's cheapest car, and it compares what it costs to buy the car in each state or territory versus Canberra. So it's the additional amount that you have to pay versus the different categories. So ACT, obviously no stamp duty there. Then Queensland is the next in line, so it only costs $556 more to buy the exact same car in Queensland versus Canberra. Then followed by NT, $1,311. Then followed by Tassie, $1,875. Closely followed by South Australia at $1,980. Then Victoria, it costs $2,428 more to buy the same car in Victoria as it does in Canberra. It costs $2,515 more to buy the same car in Sydney versus Canberra or anywhere in New South Wales. And once again, unlucky last, WA, it will cost you $4,087 extra to buy the exact same car here in Perth in Western Australia versus buying that car in Canberra. So quite a big difference. Most of that is attributable a little bit to delivery charges and things like that, but a lot of it's to stamp duty, no doubt. So you've got all the numbers there. As I said, feel free to send me an email and I'll send you the spreadsheet. Interestingly, the price, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this already, the price of the other Tesla Model 3 models, so the performance and the long range, increased roughly as much as they did for the Standard Range Plus, which is the base model, so between about $5,000 or $7,000. Obviously the impact has been the highest on the base model, the Standard Range Plus, as I may have mentioned previously, primarily, perhaps, presumably, because margins are the tightest there and Tesla has the least amount of scope to be able to absorb any of those increases. So, look, that's pretty much it from me. If you got some value out of this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share this video with anyone else that you think might find this useful, and if you share this video with them, in the description will be the link to the previous video, so they'll have both at the same time. So make sure you share that. As I said, if you're in the market for a car, make sure you use a link so that you can receive the 1,500 kilometers of free supercharging. I've included my link in the description section below, so you'll find it there. I'll put it up on the screen here in post editing as well, so that you can see it. Look, make sure you not just subscribe, but hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button so that you can get alerted to these types of videos as and when they come out. Some of them are time sensitive and urgent, as is the case with this one. As I said, you had to be fairly quick to take advantage of that price rise. Look, if there's any further information as it relates to this, I will and as long as I come across it, I'll try and make a video as well. So hit that notification bell so that you can get alerted to that video as and when it comes out. I'll also include my Twitter handle in the description section below, so please follow me on Twitter, and that way you might be able to get alerts for new videos there as well. So look, that really is it from me for now, so hope you got some value out of the video. As always, stay safe, stay sustainable, and stay ahead of the curve. Ciao.